Oh. All right. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I hope we had a restful night yesterday. Okay, so today we're about to start our MMR, that's the money market review, and I'm going to be our main host, our anchor for today. Good morning, Abolaji Jeremiah. Good morning, Abraham. Good morning, Agility Estate Congregation. Wow, that's serious. Please and please, let's try to be putting our names so that we'll be able to acknowledge us with our names, not names of companies or devices. You understand it? That would be nice. Good morning, Ahapo Favor. Good morning, Anayo Ben. Good morning, Alpha D. Good morning, Anthony Kayode. Good morning, Augustine Akadello. Okay. Good morning to Anyu Felix. Good morning, Blessed. Good morning, Brown Akinola. Good morning, Celestina iPhone. Okay. Good morning, Chinedu. Good morning, Iremi. Good morning, Ekpemski. Good morning. Okay, can you see? I'm seeing the names of two devices now. Okay, so this is what I'll be doing from now on. Anybody that I'm just seeing their name as a device, I will not call that device. You understand? So it's not my fault. Okay, good morning, Jeff Dollar. Good morning, John Obane. Good morning, Johnson Olu Gbe. Okay, good morning, Johnson Taiwo. Good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Joshua Ayibakuro. Good morning, Namdi Mbata. Good morning, Oyeshina Oyekami. Good morning, Patient Mark Ejalin. Okay, good morning, Philippa Mars. Good morning, Tony Chris. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are and you're listening to me around the nation. I acknowledge you all. And with all those that are using devices, okay, you too, I'm saying good morning to you. Yeah, Kenya, I can see you saying good morning, sir. Thank you for also saying that. All right, so we know the drill. Just to confirm that everybody is able to hear me loud and clear from their various locations, please, I'll need 1, 2, or 3 people should just come to the chat section, just put it down loud and clear. Loud and clear. If you're able to put loud and clear, then we move. From there, we kick off. You understand? I just need us to drop that message, please. Loud and clear. Help me and drop it loud and clear. All right. Brown Akinola, loud and clear. Thank you very much. Kenny is also saying loud and clear. Thank you very much. It means wherever you are from your location, you can hear me clearly. So if you're not hearing me clearly where you are, it means your locations network is unstable then, so I'll kindly advise you switch off your phone, you on it, then change your location. All right. Epemski too is also saying loud and clear. Patience Mark Angeline is also saying loud and clear. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So yes, we're going to kick off right away. So this week has actually been a wonderful week. We've had news, we've seen the market going up, coming down, everything has been moving technically, even fundamentally. It's been interesting. So yeah, first thing first, let's look at okay, so I'll share my screen. We'll look at the news that has been happening for this week. It's been very interesting. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Yeah, I'll share my screen so we can see that right away. Okay, let's see. I'm with us. Okay, let me share it. All right, so this week has actually been an interesting week, and I believe everybody can see my screen from their location where they are. So let me take it some few steps, days back, so we'll see it. It has actually been an interesting week since Tuesday. You see, monetary policies came in. After that, the USD by 130, that went well. Then on Wednesday, I mean, we had the GBP CPI coming, and we also had the federal fund rate, which is FOMC, which came up in the evening, 7 p.m. and 7:30, you understand? Then on Thursday, we also had news, which was yesterday. We had news coming out on CHF, AUD first, then CHF, then GBP. All these news moved the market. In fact, very volatile. For the CHF news, it comes out every 3 months, you understand? Yeah, it's their monetary policies. And you see, part of the reason why I always look at the CHF news that, yes, it moves well is because in Switzerland, there are more of banks there. You understand? When you talk about banks, counting of money and the money, when it has to do with financial operations, Switzerland, I would say, is the headquarters of that. You understand? So, yeah, monetary policies came out for them. AED was employment and unemployment rate. You understand? Then GBP also did their own monetary policies too. You understand? Even though they didn't cut their own interest rate, was still there, but for the Swiss bank, they did reduce their own interest rate by 25 basic points, you understand, 0.25 basic points. So that also made the currency to move, you understand, it made the currency to move. And although after that, the statement that also came with it was also positive and a strong one. That's why if you look at instruments like CADJPY, it went up. Then instruments like USD CHF, USDCHF sold, you understand. There was a strong push on that instrument. It was a massive move on it, you understand? But anyway, let's look at how it's going to be for today. So today, what news are we expecting? We have CNY has already gone. That happened 2 a.m., even though we do not have that currency on our platform. Next is GBP, that's retail sales, and that came in by 7 a.m. and came out negative for GBP, you understand? So it means as this morning, instrument like GBP, USD, and the likes, it should sell based on the report. Then by 7:40, we also had the Bank of Japan governor, Eda, speaking. You understand? Then by 1:30 today, we are having news coming out on Canadian and US dollars. Now, you see, it's going to be the core retail sales and month to month and retail sales month to month. They will have the Philly Fed manufacturing index. You understand? This will be by 1:30 today. Hopefully, yeah, it should, there are medium impact news, and yes, it should move the market. But yes, even without news, we should also look at the market technically. How is it going to move? You understand? So begin to look at it and emphasize the direction the market is going to go. Okay, so let's see what is going to be happening in the market technically today, because if you're looking at it based on fundamentals, there's no serious news coming out today apart from what is happening by 1:30. And yes, since there's no major news coming out, we should expect the market to move in a particular way. Apart from the news that came out by 7 a.m., which was so if you look at instrument like GBPJPY, you discover that it's sold, you understand? But let's just go to the chart. Let me share my chart so we can see that. Let me go to my chart. I'm coming. Okay. So looking at the chart now, Yeah, we'll look at GBPJPY. Let's look at GBPJPY. GBPJPY with us. Okay, I'm coming. Stay with us, please. Okay, I need to close all these instruments here. I'm with us, please. All right, I'm still with us. I'm just trying to close all these instruments and I'll open a new one. Okay. All right, so GBPJPY. Here we go. Now we'll see it. GBPJPY as of this morning. Let's look at what the instrument is saying. Now look at it. As of this morning, now this is 8 o'clock. By 7 a.m., the news came out negative for GBPJPY around, yeah. So that's it. Look at it. Moved down, straight up. So this is the next one that is coming up. Can you see? So for all those that would have seen that news, yes, it would have been a positive move for them. It sold well, and yeah, they'll make their own profit out of it. You understand? That's the market for us. So we can't do away with fundamentals too, even when we look at this market technically. That's the interesting thing about it. We can't do away with this. You understand? Okay. So yeah, we're still on. All right, so sorry about that. There was a little network glitch, but now we are back active again. Okay, so now this is what we're going to do now. I'm going to start technically now. Let's begin to look at our instruments. First thing first, we look at Euro USD. Let's look at Euro USD. Okay, let's start with that, Euro USD. I'm going to start with that. Then we look at every other instrument we can see. Let's analyze it and see how it's going to be. Euro USD. Let's start with that. All right. So basically on Euro USD, based on what we're seeing as of this morning, we discovered that all through the whole movement, the day of news that it came down, price has actually reversed back to that point. Can you see? Now, this is the main drill here. Now, if you look at it critically, you see, discover that this point is a zone. This point is a resistance zone. You understand? And price got to that point and it got rejected. The last time price came down, got to this point, it got rejected. Then the news and every other thing pushed it down, showing that the dollars was strong. Tried pushing back up, but came back down again. Tested that same zone below here. And it's been unable to break below this point. You understand? Price has moved back up here. So based on what I'm saying, I'm on my own opinion, I'm expecting a strong push on euros to go up. I'm expecting a strong move on euros to go where? To go up. All right. So if price is able to break above this section successfully, price able to break above this section successfully, then we should go for that buy. I'm envisaging a buy on euros. You understand? Okay, so looking at it, even on my H4, you see, God did this higher high, came back down, touched the same point, came back down. So it's just more of a little pullback. So I'm expecting price to still push up. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm expecting price to push up. But if that does not happen, if it's unable to break above this point, then we should expect a bearish move, because on our 4-hour time frame, we discovered that it tested that point and it didn't break it. So price is coming down, right? So, but anything can still happen, because looking at it based on what we're seeing on 1 hour here, there's a minor zone around this point that could still push price back to the upside. It could push back price back to the upside. You understand? So even if it's coming down, it might just get to around this point. You understand? Coming. Yes, around this point is a strong point for price, and that's why we're seeing it rejecting. So yes, price could go back up and break above this point, but mainly hold on for it to break above this part successfully. If it breaks above that part successfully, then I'm expecting a buy. But if that does not happen, if it's unable to break above this part, then we could have price coming back down to this point. You understand? But based on what we've been seeing all along, I'm expecting price to push up on Euro USD, looking at it from daily, weekly, even the monthly time frame, you see it has been giving us that push up to the upside. So on the monthly time frame, is able to break above this point successfully. Let me zoom it in. If he's able to break above this point successfully, I'm expecting price to push up. So my bias for Euro USD is buy. I'm sticking with the bulls. I'm sticking my own choice with the bulls. I'm expecting the price to go up. So yes, this particular candle zero that is forming now, if it's able to even form bullish around this point, I'm expecting it to go up. Once he's able to form a bullish candle around this point, I expect price to push up. But for us to be on a safe path, let's hold on for it to break above this section successfully, then take our move for the bulls. You understand? For the bullish move. That's that on Euro USD. Okay, so let's look at another instrument. Let's look at USD card. USD card. USD card. All right, I'm on USD card now. I'm on USD card. All right, so looking at USD card, we discover that on a 1 hour time frame, looking at what we're seeing, you discover that price got to this particular high, got rejected. Now it's just between these 2 points. This is point 1 and this is point 2. Yes. So it's between these 2 points. At a point, price got rejected here, came down. Can you see? When it started moving up, it gave us this higher high, higher low, came back to this point, broke it up. Higher high. You understand? You understand? It gave us a little high. From this point to this point has been a high. Now it has dropped back to this point to retest this zone. There's every possibility that price could go up. Price could still what? Go up. But depending on the Canadian dollar too, if the Canadian dollars gets stronger, if it gets stronger, then we should expect price to come down. You understand? And I, for one, based on everything that we're seeing, in fact, let's look at it from 4 hours. Let's see. This is what we're seeing on 4 hours here now. Look at it, price has actually been coming down, but now on 4 hours, price is more or less like trying to push back up. Let's look at the daily time frame. Let's see what price is doing. Price is coming down on daily time frame. Can you see it has been giving us that lower high, lower low, and remaining? You understand? So it's been coming weekly. What's it saying on weekly? Is it giving us that same vibe that price is trying to come down? It's doing the same thing. And in fact, on the weekly time frame, if we look at it, we discover that this is that zone here. So except price is able to break above this part on the weekly time frame, we don't expect it to go up. But if there's a rejection at this point and it comes and breaks below this point, I'm expecting price to drop. So on USD card, even on the monthly time frame, can we see it's giving us that bearish move, So if the whole pullback is giving there, it's just minor for me. I'm just seeing it as a minor move. So here now, it could be a minor movement back to this upside. You understand? So if he's unable to break above this part, we should expect a sell on USD card. We should expect that price should fall. But this is it. Let me mark out this point for us. If he's able to break up below this part successfully, then we can go for that bearish move. But if that is not the case, then we should expect price to go up. That's that on USD card. All right. So let's look at GBPUSD. Let's look at GBPUSD. So yes, GBPUSD, even though yesterday there was news on their monetary policies and everything, and they left it that same way. You understand? The whole news came out neutral for them. But look at it here now. Look at the news. Okay. Now, this all happened based on the news of FOMC and the likes. You understand? This was what happened and made this currency to go down. But you see, at this point, it got rejected. This was that rejection zone. Strong support that pushed it back to the upside. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, so the strong support pushed it back to the upside, which is this. You understand? Now it has gotten to this high. In fact, price broke this little zone around this point, broke it and got to this high. Now came back to do a retest. It came back to do a retest. Now can you see? So my own decision on this is this. Even though this retest, wow, nice one. The retest or if you look at candle 1, you can see that it's almost a full Marubozu. This is more of a partial Marubozu candlestick. If you look at it, partial Marubozu. But as far as it didn't break that point, it means this point was is a strong zone. So this is what I'm going to do. Very simple. There's no need to drag this particular instrument. I'm expecting it to go up. The only issue there is this: as far as it does not break below this part successfully. If it doesn't break below this part, then I expect price to push up. Because price has done a retest and we can see that this zone is rejecting price now, trying to push it back up. So if it's able to push it back to the upside, I am expecting price to buy. I'm expecting price to buy. As far as candle 0 closes bullish, as far as it closes bullish, I'm expecting it to what? To buy. I'm expecting a bullish move on GBPUSD. Yes. So let's look out for that bullish move on GBPUSD. That's that for GBPUSD. Let's look at USDJPY. USDJPY. Come with us. All right, USDJPY. Come on it. All right, USDJPY. So if you look at USDJPY for some time now, JPY actually has been giving us that weakness. It's been dropping in strength. And if you look at, based on what we are seeing here now, let's see it. This is it. Price actually has been respecting this trend. Can you see? From this point, price has been respecting this point. Can you see it? 1, 2, 3. You understand? Price has been respecting this point. So it means, are we expecting it to go for a sell? I'm not expecting it, because currently where price is, you see that price has actually rejected this point. You understand? Has been rejected at this point severally. So I'm expecting price to push up. But if price breaks below this point, once price breaks below this point, at that point, we could start having that bearish move. If price is able to break below this point, we could start having that bearish move. So let's watch out and see. Is it going to push up or come down? But as far as price is being rejected at this point, we could expect price to what? Push to the upside. Push to the upside. Yes, I'm expecting price to push to the upside. And if it's able to break above that point, above this particular zone, then we could have a strong bullish move. But if that is not the case, as far as price breaks below this part, then we could expect price to what? To sell. We should expect price to drop on USDJPY. So that's USD, that's the whole drill on USDJPY. Let's look for another instrument. Let's go to USDCHF. Okay, USDCHF. So looking at USDCHF, you discover that based on the trend, first it dropped and got to this point, and since then it's been giving us that slow and steady bullish move. It's been giving us that slow and steady bullish move on this particular part here, giving us that slow and steady bullish move. Yes, looking at it, look at what it's doing. It gave us that slow and steady bullish move. You understand? Yes. High, low, high. At this point, it broke it a little. But yes, breaking it around that point, coming down, there was also it met with another zone there. That zone pushed price back. Now it's back. And if you're looking at currently what price is doing, price is ranging. It's ranging. So this is what our advice we do on USDCHF. Like we all know, I've said it times without number. Whenever you see that price is ranging, kindly know that that place that price is a correction zone. A ranging zone is known as a correction zone. So the main thing is wait for it to either break to the upside or the downside. Then at that point, we can now what? Take a move. Wait for it to break above or below. Then we can now what? Take a move. If it goes to the upside, if it breaks above this point and it goes to the upside, you buy. If it breaks below this point and goes down, once it goes below this zone like this, you go for what? Your sell. That's that on USDCHF. Okay. All right. Let's look at another instrument. Let's look at AUDUSD. AUDUSD. Right. After this, then we'll look at NZDUSD, then we'll look at commodities, indices, and the likes. Okay. AUDUSD. AUDUSD. All right. So looking at AUDUSD now, zooming out. If you look at it critically, you see that it's giving us this bearish move. From this point, it's been giving us that bearish move. Coming. Even if I'm picking it from this tip here, it's been giving us this bearish move. You understand? So are we expecting it to keep on moving like this? So fine, we should expect that if price should get to this top side, it could also what? Keep on dropping. Yes. So AUDUSD, I'm expecting a bearish move on AUDUSD. But before that is done, let's wait for price to get to this upside. From this upside, the rejection is what we'll be looking for. Once it gets rejected, we can follow it down. You understand? So AUDUSD, I'll be looking out for a bearish move from this top side. You understand? Come in. From this point above, I'll be looking out for a bearish move. Once price gets into this point and it gets close to this trend, as far as it does not break above it, as far as it does not break above this point that has been shaded out, I'm expecting a bearish move. I'm expecting price to drop on AUDUSD. Yes, that's my take on AUDUSD. Okay, so let's go for the last one now, which is NZDUSD before we move to commodities. NZDUSD. All right, NZDUSD also it's been dropping. Then it got to this part, the little support there. Now it's having issues around where it is. Look at it here now. This is that zone, the support zone. Then we've been having price coming down. Can we see that price has been coming down from that point? Okay, so now price got to this point and it got rejected. Price is still trying to test that point. So as far as price does not break above this point, we should expect price to come back down. So this could be a little retest. And if it breaks above this point, then we could have a bullish move. We can have a bullish move happening here. The market could go up. If price is able to break above this part successfully, then we can have a bullish move. But if that is not the case, if it gets rejected, we can see it coming back to this downside. So that's that on NZDUSD. That's that on NZDUSD. Okay. Now let's look at commodities. Let's look at commodities. Yeah. Commodities. So I'm starting with gold. Then we'll move to oil. So yes, looking at gold now. So basically what gold has been doing is it's been giving us that cool and calm movement to the downside. It's been giving us that cool and down movement to the downside. Okay, so look at it now. Price is currently at this zone here. So it is expected that if price is going to go below that point, if it's going to go below that point, it should break below this particular zone first. Now, once it breaks below this point, yes, we could have price moving back down to this downside here. We'll get to this side, or in fact, it could get as low as this point. You understand? If it's able to break below this point. But at the same time, we could also be looking out for a sweet position for what? For buy. You understand? So it's two ways. You understand? Either it breaks below this point and comes here, and once it gets to this point, as far as it gets rejected around this point, we're expecting it to go back. But from what it is on this particular support zone. So unless it's able to break below it, we could expect price to do what? We can expect price to go back to the upside. But once it breaks below it, then we're expecting price to come back to this point. And if it doesn't break below this point, you could have your strong bullish move from this point back to the upside. So that's that. So I'm expecting price will get down to this point before it gets rejected back to the upside on gold. That's the way it is on this particular commodity. Let's go to oils. Let's go to oils. All right, so I'm on oils now. All right, oils. So yes. So if you look at it, price of oil has actually been going up for a while now. Yes, price of oil has been going up for a while, and it's just been due to some of these political move and political issues happening around the world. You understand? Like the current one is the war between Israel and Iran now. You understand? So all these countries are like Iran now is one of those producers of oil, and looking at it now, they'll begin to have some certain issues and the like. So if oil is unable to go out to some of these nations from the real producers of this particular commodity, what happens? You see that the price becomes expensive for those that have it and are able to export it out. They begin to inflate the price, you understand? And if you look at it, price has actually been going up. Currently, where price is now, price is, you can see price got to this particular zone and it got rejected. So for me, I'm expecting it to come back to the upside on oil. My bias on it is to push to the upside. Yes, this is one zone here. In fact, based on what it's doing, technically, you can see this inverted hammer but bullish, and this other candle is bullish. If this candle is able to close above this point, I'm expecting a bullish move. Yeah, I even gapped down, and one of the things I'll look at is I'm expecting this gap to be covered. So yes, I'm expecting a bullish move on oil. I'm expecting the price of oil to go up. I'm expecting the price of oil to go up. Price of oil to go up, yes. So my own take on oil is bullish, bullish. All right, okay. Let's look at this other commodity too. Let's look at this other commodity too. Okay, coming. Let's look at wheat. Looking at wheat now. Okay, Mr. Ruby Emmanuel, you're saying I should look at gold. No, I just finished looking at gold, so I'm not going back to gold now until once I'm done. Once I'm done and we have the opportunity to look at it again, yes, I've done gold before. So let me do the ones I've not yet done. Once I'm done with that, then I can come back to gold again. Thank you. All right, so wheat. We're on wheat now. Now, so looking at wheat, yes, wheat has also gone up to this particular high. It's gone up for a while now. In fact, let's look at it based on time frames and everything. Okay. 4 hours, daily time frame. Isa Sadiq, you are raising your hand. Please go to the chat section and drop me your message. Just drop your message there for me to see. Once I see it, I'll respond to it. Thank you. Once I see it, I'll respond to it. Now, if you look at week now, based on the weekly time frame, you see that it's been going down. It's been coming down. At a point, it was at this particular high, but since then, it's been coming down, and it's just almost like we can almost say it's ranging between a particular zone. You understand? For one, I'll pitch my tent with a bearish move on this wheat. I'm still expecting the price to come down. You understand? Look at it, it has gone up. This on monthly time frame gone up, and now it's coming down. I'm expecting price to still come down. You understand? Based on this 1 hour time frame, got to this high here, and from that point it's dropping. So this is just a minor pullback. I'm still expecting price to what? To sell. I'm expecting price to sell. So as far as price is unable to break above this part successfully, you understand? I'm expecting price of wheat to sell. I'm expecting it to sell. Bearish move on wheat. Yes, I'm expecting a bearish move on wheat. That's my take. Wheat is going down. That's my take on wheat. Okay. Okay, we are done with that. Let's look at let's go to indices now. Let's check indices. So I'm with us. All right, I'm with us. Thank you. So US 30, we start with US 30 to look at all the whole in this index, US 30. So if you look at it for a while now, you discover that price of US 30 has just been between just these 2 points. In fact, let me put it out. This is 0.1 and this is 0.2. Can you see? It's just been in between these particular sections. But if you want to really look at it from another point, you discover that price has actually created some other zones here. This is 0.1. This is it. So as far as price is unable to break, now if you're expecting price to go up, now we should look out for these 2 points. If price is able to break above this side successfully, then we should expect price to go up. But if that does not happen, it's still going to come back down because the movement has just been between these 2 points. From this point that it broke back into this zone, it's been between these 2 points. So as far as price does not break above this part, I'm expecting it to come back down. You understand? And likewise, the same thing. For the bearish move. If it goes down and is unable to break below these points, then I'm not expecting it to go anywhere. I expect it to just be between these 2 points. But let's watch out for it because it could also give us that bullish move or a bullish pattern. Then we know that yes, price actually wants to go up. You understand? So based on what we're saying now, let's wait and see. Is price going to get to this point? And if it gets rejected here, it means it's coming down. But if it doesn't and it breaks above this point successfully, we could have that bullish move on US 30. So that's my take on US 30. Let's look at US 100 now. US 100. Okay, so on US 100 too, is also giving us almost the same vibes of that move. You understand that we're seeing on US 30, almost the same thing. You see, it's giving us this whole bullish movement. Price has been going up here. You understand? If you look at it, price has gotten up to this point. So I'm expecting it to break above this part. Yes. So if it's able to break above this part, then we can go for that bullish move. But if that does not happen, we need to wait. So yes, bullish move US 100. That's my take. But let's hold on for it to break above this part first. If it doesn't break above this part, price is going to get down. It's going to come back down to all. It could get back down to this point. Yes, get back down to this point. You understand? So please, let's watch out and see what is going to be. You understand? Is it going to break above this part? If it breaks above this part successfully, we can go for that bullish move. So that's that for US 100. So let's look at US 500. US 500. Okay. Now, US 500, like we all know, these are US index, and they've been giving us that same movement for a while now. So I'm still going to give us this. Okay. This is that zone here. Yes, this is one. And we have that other point here that is also here too. So, in fact, let me push it up here. Okay, so this is one. So he's also giving us that bullish move. So if he's able to break above that part on this particular section, this is on US 500. If he's able to break above this part successfully, then we could go for that bullish move. You understand? because there's also another zone around here where price is, there's a zone there and price is having issues around that point. That's why you're seeing that rejection here. So if it breaks above this point and it breaks above this point, we're expecting a bullish move. We're expecting a bullish move around that point. So yes, I'm pitching my tents with the bulls on US 30, US 100, US 500. So let's look at what is happening on US 2000. After this, then we'll now have the opportunity of sending in our questions more and more. Instruments you want me to check for us so that we analyze it together. You also drop it there for me. We'll see that. Okay. So US 2000. Let's look at US 2000. US 2000. Yeah. Okay. So based on what we're saying now, you discover that it's all the US index has actually given us the same pattern of movement. You understand? The same pattern of movement. The same pattern of movement. Can you see? It's been giving us that same pattern of movement. You understand? Support here, resistance here, and price is pushing up here. So let's hold on for price to break above this point. If it doesn't break above it, then we should expect that price will drop. But if it breaks above it, then we know that price is going up. But if it doesn't, it's going to come down, break down below this point. It could break below this point and continue going down. So that is that on US 2000. That's that on US 2000. So now we have the opportunity, the chat section. Please kindly send in your questions or the instrument you want me to look out for you. Then I'll check it again. For those that just maybe you joined late and yes, I've done a particular instrument before you joined, you can still drop it. Just like, okay, Isa Sadiq, you're raising your hand. Please go to the chat section and drop it for me. I'll respond to it. Yes, just go to the chat section. I'll respond to it. Yeah. Okay, so Arubi, you're talking about gold. I'll check. Yeah, we'll look at gold. Yeah, we're going to look at it now. Okay. Brown Akinola, you said, when you say break above or below certain part, does it mean close above and below? Yes, it has to close above that section. That's what it means. You understand? That's what it means. It should close above it. It should close above it. Now, this point that you see here, if price is able to go above this point that is shaded, where my cursor is, if it's able to close above it successfully, let's say price comes and ends here, around this point, exactly around that point, you should not expect that, okay, price is going to buy. That's what we mean. We are not saying it close above, maybe inside. No, it should break above this zone. You can see all this line, this is my horizontal line that you're seeing, is a rejection zone. When we're talking about rejection zone, it means a particular section where price could no longer go further. It got stuck at that point. Like it could not go up again, or it could not push down, you understand, go back down, you understand. At that point, that was where price stopped and it started another different movement. That's a zone, you understand. So that's what we mean by that. Okay, so Arubi Emmanuel, I'll be looking at gold for you now. Let's look at gold. Okay, let's look at what gold is saying. Okay, so on gold, like I said, I drew these two sections for us. I said, looking at it on 1 hour time frame, we discover that price of gold has been dropping. It's been giving us that slow and sluggish movement. It's been giving us that slow and sluggish movement on gold. So we should wait and see, is it going to break below this part? If it's able to break below this particular shaded section, we're expecting price to come back down to this point. And if it's able to break below this point, then it could be a continuation. But if that does not happen, as far as it does not break below this point, we could have price pushing back to the upside. That's my take on gold. Yes. So that's that for you, Mr. Arubi. All right. Okay, so yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, Mr. Arubi Emmanuel. All right. So Victor Edojo, you're saying DE40. DE40. All right. Let's look at DE40. Let's look at DE40. Let's look at DE40. All right, we're on DE40. DE40 is German stock. And looking at it based on what we're seeing on this 1 hour time frame, can you see it's been giving us that strong bearish move. Strong bearish move. Strong bearish move. In fact, you see, even on 4 hours, it had gone up for a long time, then it came back down. I'm looking at it based on what we're seeing on these 4 hours now. Look at, you see, it got to this strong support zone and pushed back. It gapped up, you understand? So what are we expecting? For me, because of what I'm seeing, based on what I'm seeing, even on the higher time frame, it's giving us that bearish move, you understand? But normally we say indices has been more pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So looking at it, monthly, weekly time frame, this particular section is a strong zone. So if you want to go for your bearish move, if you want to go for the bearish move, you know it has gapped up. Let's hold on and see. Price should come and cover this gap. And if it's able to break below this particular gap, we should expect a continuation of that move. But if that does not happen, it could keep on moving back to the upside, trying to recover all this move that it has done. You understand? But I, for one, I'm waiting for it to what? To reverse back down, cover this gap. That's my take. It's been giving us that bearish move. So let's hold on and see. If it starts again, it's going to give us, as far as it's able to break below this part, then the bearish move will continue. But if that does not happen, because sometimes price might not cover that gap in a long time. You understand? So this could be, there could be a continuation here. I was looking at it, even around this point, there's a zone. Looking at it around this point, there's a zone. So price might not break that point. So price might not break this particular zone back. So it could give us that continuation of that bullish move. You understand? So that's that on DE40, sure. That's that on DE40. Okay, so yes. I have like two people raising up their hand. Okay, one is Isa. Okay, so if I need him to, oh yeah, Isa Sadiq, yes, speak to me. Kindly unmute yourself and speak to me. Let me hear you. Because I've not received your message. So kindly unmute and speak to me. I'm waiting for you, Isa Sadiq. Okay, he's not responding. The next person is Mr. Femi. You raised your hand too. Please, Mr. Femi, let me see.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. So I'm listening to you.
My question is, why is US indices? Where is it going up now? Is it because the dollar is down? Because
Now,
I checked the dollar so early this morning. No, I've not checked it. I can see the dollar has gone down.
okay.
Is that why the
Now you
US
see, when you're talking about US in stocks, you understand, is we talk about it as being shares, you understand, you're trading on the value of these shares. So one of the things you need to understand is this: when you want to buy shares, do you buy it when it's expensive or when it's weak? You buy it when it's weak. The US currency is weak now, so this is the best point to go and say you want to buy any shares in the US, because, and that's why you're seeing it being strong. You get?
I now understand it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so yes, I'm looking at my chat now. Okay, Alalibo Victor is saying I should look at oils. He's saying I should look at oils. Okay, so let's look at oils. Let's look at oils again, even though I've done that. Let's look at oils. So this is oil. This is the way it is. Price of oil has actually been going up for a while, and I've marked out these 2 points for us. So I'm expecting the price of oil to still push up, but that might not be the case. You understand? It might not be the case. So let's put it this way: if oil price is able to break below this part successfully, it will sell. But if that does not happen, it's going to go back up, and it could push up, break, even cover this gap, break above this part and move up. So, and even if it's going to break above this part, even if you want to go for that bullish move, hold on for it to break this particular section successfully. Come in. Hold on for it to break above this part successfully before you can go for that bullish move. That's that on oils. Okay?
Hello.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Who is this, please? You said hello. I'm listening to you. Let me know your name.
Yeah, my name is Toby.
All right, Mr. Toby.
Yeah, please, I want you to help me to check CADJPY. Yeah.
CADJPY. All right.
Yes,
All right. All right. We'll do that. Let's look at CADJPY. All right, so we're on Canadian dollars JPY now. Woo! As of this, based on what we were saying this morning, is more or less like it is ranging. You understand? It's just been between these 2 points. This is 0.1, 0.2. But if we want to pick it based on what it's doing as of now, we can just say this is what it's doing, and it's ranging between these 2 points. So coming, it's just within these 2 points. You understand? So hold on for it to break above or below any of this section, then you follow that part. If it breaks above this part and moves up, you follow it for a buy. If it breaks below it successfully and closes below this zone successfully, you go for sell. So CADJPY is ranging currently. There's no definite direction for it. Okay? All right. All right. Okay. Adebanjo Luasheyi.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Good morning. I'm listening to you.
Let me look for the USDJPY.
USDJPY. Okay.
Yeah.
USDJPY. If you look at it, based on what I just drew down, you see the trend that is giving to us. On the 1 hour, it's been giving us that bullish trend, giving us higher, 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 low, higher, 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 low. You understand? And now currently you discover that it's been respecting that trend. Now, this point that is shaded out, if price is able to go close below this point successfully, then it means price of USD dollars JPY will come down. USDJPY, if it breaks below this point, it's going to come down. But if that is not the case, we are having that bullish move again, and it will come to this particular section up here where we'll have the resistance. If it's able to break above that resistance, then we'll have that buy, that bullish move. But if that is not the case, price could be between this point for a while. That's my take on it.
So,
okay.
Sir.
All right.
Hello.
Well, let's hold on. Let me call you first. Don't rush me, please. Let's hold on. Let me call you. I'm going to answer everybody. Pending the time. We still have some more time. So I will check. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So
have the other.
I'm coming. Okay. All right. Okay. So yes. I can see. Please, sir, can you explain why indices market closed in the afternoon yesterday? Indices market which of the indices market closed in the afternoon yesterday? Kindly be specific, because when you're talking about closing, indices does not close in the afternoon, only in the night. That's when you say by 10, indices, the time would have closed. But which of the indices closed in the afternoon? No, US 100 did not close in the afternoon, sir. Maybe you were just having a network glitch. That's it. We're having a network glitch. All right, Ekpemski, you're saying we should look out EURJPY. Let's look at EURJPY, Ekpemski. Let's look at EURJPY. EURJPY. Okay, I'm on it. EURJPY. Okay. So looking at EURJPY now, we discovered that price of EURJPY is trying to push up. Yes, it's trying to push up based on what we are seeing. It's trying to push up. So got to this new high now, then a little pullback. So as far as it is, if it's able to break above, just hold on for it to break above this part, even if you want to go for that buy. If you want to go for that bullish move, hold on for it to break above this part successfully. Let me shade it out so you see it. If it's able to break above this part successfully, you can go for that buy. But if that is not the case, price could come down, because the last time price got to this place, it came down. You see, and price has crossed this particular zone a little to this point. So yes, we could have price going back down. You understand? But hold on, if it's able to break above this part, then fine. If it doesn't, price is going to come back down. So that's that for EURJPY. Okay. All right. Nathaniel Amadi. Okay, unmute yourself and speak, please. Let me hear you.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I need you to help me cross-check AUDUSD.
Okay.
AUDUSD and yes, just AUDUSD and USDCAD.
Okay, so look at AUDUSD here. Based on what we're seeing, Can you see? It's been giving us that bearish move, even though it's been more of it to come down, go back up, you understand? Respecting even the support zone at a point before it broke it down further. So as of this morning, I'm expecting it to just get to where this trend is and get rejected. Once it gets rejected, once price comes into this particular zone, as far as it does not go above the trend, I'm expecting a bearish move on AUD USD. That's my take on AUD USD. Then you said USD CAD. USD CAD, yes. Based on what I'm seeing here, I for one, I said, like I said, I'll be expecting the price of CAD to come down. But even if I'm going for that bearish move, let it break below this part first. If it doesn't break below this part, then we could have price dancing between these 2 points for a while. But once it breaks below this point, yes, we can have that bearish move. So that's that. Okay. All right, Brown Akiola, he said, follow up to my above question. Does one need any further confirmation? Probably price got rejected at a point of break before one can enter the market. Now, the truth is this, kindly understand this. Once you place you're looking at the chart, you understand, and you're expecting it to break a particular session. You understand? If you're expecting it to break a particular session or a particular zone, if price does not break below that zone, then you wait. Price must fulfill your own requirement first. You understand? You can't force the market to move in any direction. Wait for it to give you that signal, then you follow. So if it does not break that point, then you wait. It's only when it breaks that point that you can ask, okay, let me go for it. It has given me the good signal. In fact, once it breaks below that point and a retest happens and is unable to go back into that zone, that's a strong indication that yes, you should go. You should place your trade. You understand? So that's that for that, Mr. Brown Akiola. Okay. All right. So yeah, coming. Izuchukwu Chibundu. Yes. Kindly unmute yourself too and say what you have. Let me listen. Yes, I'm with you, please.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity and this analysis you are doing. I really appreciate. Sir,
You're
I want
welcome.
to ask this particular question. How do you know? Because... Hello?
I'm with you.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Like where you were marking out, for instance, maybe price is getting to a resistance zone that you marked out, like this point you marked as a resistance zone, and you marked out a current support zone at this particular spot. Okay. Now, in marking out those your resistance zone, you know, is it at, how do you mark that your resistance zone? Is it at the wick or at the body? And also another question, is it at the wick or at the body you normally mark it to know that, okay, if price gets to this particular resistance zone and it breaks above it, it will either give us a continuation trade to buy, or if it breaks above the support zone by the close of a candle at the top or at the bottom, it will give us a sell signal to continue that trade. That's okay. For a break. So I don't know if you are getting a question. It's how do you properly mark it, and which kind this strategy you are explaining? What is the name of this strategy? Is it like a break and close strategy?
Now, this is it. What I'm just using to give us all this information is support and resistance. Support and resistance. That's just the truth. If you look at it, if you are able to see support and resistance, you're able to get support and resistance in this market, you've done a lot of things. All the other indicators that you're also seeing that you're being given is just a modification of support and resistance. That's all. Whether it's moving average, Bollinger Band, RSI, it's still the same move of support and resistance, but a higher version of it. Now, this is it. These points that you're seeing, this week that you're seeing at the top here, is telling you that price actually got to that point. You understand? So if I put it here, is a zone. It's a zone too, because price got there, but something sent it back down and it closed here. You understand? So what I'm just doing here is I'm trying to make it tight. Tight in one sense, this was where price ended its move. You understand? But that point is also a zone. So the real deal is, if you want to pick it, you can pick it from above this week. This was where the rejection started coming in. You understand? This was where the rejection started. So those weak points that you're seeing too, they're also important. You understand? Rejection happened there. That's why price could not go further. And looking at it, based on what we are seeing on USDCAD now, the way it's closing now on this particular section now, can you see the new candle that is coming up? If this candle moves bearish, first it has given us this bearish move. This other candle closes bearish. Well, if I want to really move, I'll go for my own instant sell. But let's hold on for it to break below this part before we can go for that sell. That's that on USDCAD. I believe I should have answered your question. Okay, so just to be fair, Christopher Obieke, let me answer you too. Please kindly unmute yourself. I'm with you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you loud and clear.
Mine's an observation. I noticed that the chat of many of us are disabled by the host, but some are able to chat. Please, if you can check through this. Since we started this, and I've even tried to reach you through the account manager, that many of us are not able to chat. Why? It's saying disabled by the host. Please look into it for us.
All right, so Mr. Christopher, this is it. Some people actually send me chat. So you try and send the chat directly to me. You understand? But the truth is, yes, it has to be controlled too, because most of the time we could have some hoax clients just dropping what they feel like they want to drop. You understand? So it's just to let there be decorum. That's why that is that. So
okay, so how do I send you the chat?
Even if you're unable to send me the chat, just like now, I've given you the opportunity to ask your question. You ask me and I'll respond. That's it.
No. Well, let me understand. Okay, it is intentionally locked for people.
Yes. It is intentional.
Sometimes you keep on asking people to indicate they are hearing, they are following you, where the chat is
Yes,
locked.
now you can drop it for me, Mr. Christopher. Some people have dropped messages to me straight. You can do that.
To your own direct phone line.
To my own chat line, yes. Drop it directly to me.
Okay. I think where he's getting it wrong. Hello, sir.
I'm with you, please.
I think where he's getting it wrong is the fact that at the beginning of the meeting, he should click on your chat and invite.
Okay.
All right. Let's just leave that. That is not trading, please. I think that one is not trading. That one is sorted already. So thank you very much, everybody. Let's have a wonderful week ahead.
Hello.
And please kindly note that the market is closing today by 10 p.m. Or make sure that you're out by 8 p.m. so that the market will not hold you down. Yes, I'm done for today. No more opportunity, no more questions. It's 9. Thank you very much. Bye for now.